This week we got an opportunity to sit down and chat with GRID game director Chris Smith at the Codemasters headquarters in Leamington Spa, where we also got a chance to play an early code of the game. GRID releases for PC, PS4 and Xbox One on October 11th later this year.
Right, so we're back. You guys have been playing the game for a while. I don't know how long. I've been talking to a lot of press today. So how did you guys like it?
I really enjoyed it.
Amazing. Yeah, it was really good.
Did you have fun? That's the main thing.
Yeah, the races felt organic.
Great.
I think a lot of times rather than a structured, when you get some races where the AI follows a strict line, they obviously don't follow strict lines in this one. It's all, like I said, it's organic.
It's motorsport, right?
Yeah.
I had a moment where I went over a bump and the boot opened on my car and started flapping in front of me, and I'm like, oh, that's annoying. So I had to change camera view.
Oh, okay. There's one car like where the engines, I think it's like one of the muscle cars, I can't remember which one, maybe the Mach 1, where if you're in like bonnet view and the camera and the bonnet comes up, it comes up, but there's a nice little A-frame you can see through. So there's nice little moments like that. Anyway, I'm glad you guys had fun because that's the main thing. But questions?
Yeah, well, it's been obviously quite a few years since we've had the last GRID game. And to be honest, I'm a fan of the series, but I never really, I guess because it's been so late since we last had one, I never expected a GRID game to come about in this generation. So basically, how come we waited so long?
I don't really have a good answer for that. I have sort of an answer why this GRID is the way it is. I think it was just the company said, look, it's about time to bring GRID back. I think that literally was it. We got a bit lucky with our timing this year because there's not much competition out as well. But we'd be the best game out anyway, of course. So there was 3 GRID games, right? There was GRID, which for me was the game that brought innovation and really brought that great mix between casual and sim players. Like a lot of people have very good memories on GRID, and I think it shook up the genre a bit because it did a few things. It did really good motorsport and street racing, which wasn't as common at the time, but it also did that great on-track experience. Now, GRID 2, awesome game, but was criticized for becoming a bit too arcadey, a bit too lacking depth with the handling. 3 came along, the pendulum swung sort of back to more Autosport. Obviously it was called Autosport. The reason this isn't called GRID 4 and it's called GRID, and remember the original was actually called Race Driver GRID. I do regret not having a tagline because it is hard to find. I do appreciate that. I use GRID 2019 to find my media now, which is just a sign. But the point is, we're relaunching the IP. This is a reboot. That's why there's familiar tracks and unfamiliar tracks. But also, as you guys would have played, and you can tell me, what we're trying to do is get back to that feeling, that happy mix between a sim game, but also, if you turn on assists, a more casual game. But also to innovate, to shake up the genre a bit, the motorsport genre. And as we've been talking about, we want to do that through the motorsport stories on the track, the AI, the choreographer, the Nemesis, the rival, all those elements that make unpredictable motorsport. So, we hope that other motorsport games will see this, and that will be an innovation that other people look to bring to their games, and we'll keep the trend through the DLC.
So it was obviously the Nemesis system, which when you first mentioned it, I thought, okay, Shadow of Mordor, how they can incorporate it into a racing game. Because to be honest, that's not experienced that. Cool racing.
Love Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah, so
shout outs to my friend Michael DePlata, who's the craft director on that.
Well, it's a brilliant game. So Nemesis system was brilliant. That was Do you think this Nemesis system could sort of in GRID have the same kind of effect going forward, where people might in other racing games get so used to the Nemesis system in this, it might feel like it's lacking in other games?
Well, we're excited to see where it goes. Actually, when it was a feature, it wasn't a big feature to start with. It was actually one that we put in the game, and it became more and more fun, and more like the team reacted to it. The team was like, "Oh, this is cool. Can we do this? Can we do this?" And it sort of grew on us. Certainly for the future, who knows where it can go? And like you said, maybe it's something that becomes sort of a mainstay of racing games, because motorsport games, because people go, you know what, I really enjoy having a Nemesis on the track. As I mentioned before, Nemesis also occurs on multiplayer, and in real life, of course, there's Nemesis between drivers. And I hope that if me and you are playing and we have a little bit of rubbing as racing, that if we become each other's Nemesis a lot, maybe we reach out to each other and we become friends online. And again, hopefully Nemesis isn't there as it's there to make more fun, and it's there to make the game grow both online and offline. But I'm with you, where it could go, I don't know, but it's really how people respond to it. So far the response has been great. It's been something everyone's enjoyed, and they've understood why it's in the game and why it benefits the game.
Yeah, well, I think it's quite mad, considering obviously look at Formula 1 racing, you had your Damon Hill, Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, Vettel. There's always been some kind of rivalries, and it's quite crazy to think it's not been implemented in the racing game before. And I think it's, from just having a brief taste of what's in GRID, I think it's absolutely fantastic.
So you had some good Nemesis experiences.
Oh yeah,
Emilio is your, yeah. Fernandez is mine. Yeah, and we talked before, like, even though, by the way, your teammate can be your Nemesis and your rival. But we all talked about Whittle, who's the default driver right now. We've got to get him fired as well, because Whittle needs to be replaced. As soon as I get the game, sorry Whittle, you're out.
Obviously, the whole GRID series, it's always been had a good fine line between the sim and arcade racer. Obviously, you can change the difficulties and the AIs to suit your needs now. But where do we sit in terms of like car tuning options for Petrol Heads who want to?
Yeah, so you'll know when you select a car, you can call up a tuning, and you can change gear ratios, braking bias. You know, it's sort of a tuning light, if you will. But there's certainly enough there that if you understand that if you're going into a street course, you need to change your gear ratios differently to how you would set them up on a circuit. There's something there for you. So there's enough depth to get in there and customize it your way, on top of the assists and on top of all the other elements the player can tune between casual and sim. I mean, me as a casual player, I sort of leave the car tuning alone to the great handling team we have and the great work they've done. But again, if that's what you want to do, as I said earlier, choice and accessibility is something that's really important to us.
I noticed well, because the car damage I thought was fantastic, with bonnets flying everywhere and there was sparks and whatnot. I'm a big fan of the Dirt Rally series. Is that something which has been kind of deliberately brought over to?
Yeah, well, GRID also is sort of known for its damage. One thing today is you'll have seen 2 of the 3 damage types. None of our cars start off perfect. They all start off with little scratches. We like to think that when you finish a race, your car tells a story as well. So you've got scrapes, dents, and scratches. Then you've got loose parts. They fall off or rattle, or like a door swings open, then shut, and then rattles. One thing you won't have seen today is the crumple zones, which is damage where it actually deforms. We're tuning that right now, so that's going to further enhance the damage you already like. But certainly, yeah, of course, like we love the rally games we produce here, and we get good feedback from the damage in those games.
If you wonder, because you've got a GRID racer coming out this Switch.
It's GRID Autosport.
Yeah, GRID Autosport. Is that a straight up port, or is that going to have like some new features to take advantage of?
As we're not making it here, I'm unsure if it has new features, but from what I know, and you can ask some of the marketing, because it's probably something I don't know the greatest amount, but from my knowledge, it's a port of GRID Autosport, which is great because I love Autosport.
Yeah, playing on it goes really good incentive for everyone else to play it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that kind of wraps up the interview, because we've got to soon.
So look, I'll say this is, look, I hope everyone who buys GRID Autosports enjoys it their way and has stories that they can share. And going forwards, I just hope everyone embraces GRID and gets excited about the DLC as it comes out, and excited about this game as it launched. And I also want to thank you guys for coming down. It means a lot to us. Thanks. I'm with Push Start today. Had a great time talking to him. I hope you guys enjoy GRID, coming for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Google Stadia.